Hi, welcome back to my channel. I am here to give you 12 tips on how to go vegan. This is like a beginner's guide or a guide for somebody who is experimenting with veganism right now and needs a little bit more advice. Before I start, I just want to explain what is vegan anyway. You might already know, but just to really quickly clarify, a vegan is somebody who avoids animal products in all shapes, places and forms. So obviously in the dietary sense, we don't eat anything that comes from an animal or that has an animal product in it. But we also avoid things like the zoo and the aquarium and going to the horse racing, because these are also places where animals are exploited and often kept in conditions that are really unnatural to them and is not good for them. A really quick disclaimer: if you're feeding young children or a young family, or if you're elderly, or perhaps if you're not well and you're on any kind of medication, it is always worth checking with your doctor, your physician, and just letting them know your plans to go vegan, to be fully plant-based, just so that they understand what you're doing and they might have some advice for you as well. Tip number 1, have an open mind. You have probably heard lots of things about veganism. Maybe some of those things aren't actually true, but having an open mind, accept new things, try new things, just be experimental and keep your mind open is really the best place to start. You may have heard that veganism is going to be expensive, it's going to be complicated, it's going to be really time consuming, you're possibly going to have deficiencies further down the line. You will have heard of that through the media, through friends and family. A lot of people have a lot of advice about veganism when they perhaps don't know everything about it. So having an open mind and being willing to accept and learn that there is a new way to be is a great way to start. Tip number 2, go at your own pace. This isn't a race, and this is something that you can do in your own time and at your own speed. When I first went vegan, I jumped in with both feet, and to be honest, it didn't work out that well. That was because I didn't understand what I needed to know. I didn't learn enough about the lifestyle before I did it, and to be honest, I lasted just a few weeks and then I was feeling pretty awful, and I realized I had quite a bit to learn before I could actually just do this 100%. So go at your own pace. Maybe for you it will be such a huge change that you do need some education before you get going, or maybe for you it isn't too much of a change from where you already are and you could just do this overnight. Everyone's different. Go at your own pace. Tip number 3 is education. Education is everything. It is with anything that you want to do, learn and change in your life. You need to know about it. You need to understand really why you're doing this and also the whole implications of what you're doing, because veganism, you can come at this from different angles. Maybe it is a health related thing. Maybe even your doctor has told you to go plant-based, or maybe it's because of the animals, maybe it's because of the environment, maybe it's a bit of everything. But the more you know about those topics and the more that you've educated yourself around it, the more fuel you will have to make this work and to make that transition. So education is everything. It's why I've created my own program to help other people to be educated on veganism in the whole holistic lifestyle essence, because all of these pieces, when they fit together, it really does make veganism such a wonderful lifestyle that you basically just want to be involved with. Tip number 4 is abundance mindset. So tip number 1 was having an open mind. Tip number 4 is having that abundance mindset. Again, I went down this path and made these mistakes myself. I thought veganism was all about what I can't have, what I need to avoid, what I shouldn't do. Having that mindset actually makes you feel pretty deprived, pretty low, and you feel like you're now different to the rest of the world. Whereas actually, if you have an abundance mindset and just start thinking about all of the new things you can have and do and eat, it really opens things up for you. So for example, if you just take your current diet, remove all those animal products, and think, right now I'm vegan, you're probably going to get bored pretty quickly, you're probably going to get hungry, and you're not going to be really satisfied. It's about adding new foods in, new flavors, new cooking techniques, having an abundance mindset of all of the new things you can learn, do and eat. Tip number 5 is to plan ahead. Now this is a beginner's tip. For example, I've been vegan for years. I don't have to plan massively far ahead now to know what to do and what to eat, but in the beginning, absolutely essential, because you probably won't have that bank of information, all of those recipes and go-tos and what can I have if I'm really hungry and I've only got 20 minutes. You need to plan ahead so that you know, okay, I've got my next 4-7 days worth of meals sorted. I know what I'm going to have. I can therefore shop accordingly, and I know when I get in from work or school or college or wherever I've been, I know what I'm going to eat that night. So planning ahead is absolutely essential when you're a beginner. If you're liking this video and you'd want to see more content from me, please feel free to subscribe. It's free. You can do it, unsubscribe anytime, and also hit that notification bell because that will let you know when I upload my next video, which will be every week. Tip number 6 is to scope out your local markets and shops, your local cafes and restaurants that you like to go to, and start noticing that there are vegan options all over the place. If you haven't yet gone vegan or tried vegan food, perhaps you're just missing this stuff, because that's certainly what some of my clients tell me. They say, I don't know if it's because I'm vegan now or if there's more stuff in my shops that's vegan, but I'm seeing it everywhere. And the truth is it probably was there all along, but they just didn't notice it. So go and check out your local area and see what you can find. Tip number 7 is about reading labels. So when you become vegan, you will have to read the labels, because unfortunately things like milk and egg and fish particularly are kind of hidden in everything, honey as well. So reading labels becomes part of your lifestyle, and a lot of people say to me, well, I don't have the time for this, or I don't want to learn how to read labels. Truth is, it doesn't take long to figure it out, and it actually is really, really quick. So just a few tips on how to read labels. There is a little bit more to it, but this is just a basic beginner's guide. You want to look out for bold words first, because the bolds are the allergens, and a lot of the allergens are non-vegan items like fish, egg, and milk. Milk can be called things like casein or whey. Have a look for the bold words first. Those are the ones that are going to pop out to you anyway. Also just check for things like gelatin, honey. There are a few E numbers, I'll put them up on the screen here, that are non-vegan, though a lot of them are. There are a few just to be aware of. Those are the main things that you want to be looking out for on labels. So you can see quite quickly, it doesn't take long at all to just check for those things, and then you know if you're good to go. Tip number 8 is obviously about cooking, being in the kitchen, getting used to making plant-based foods. A lot of people have the misconception that being vegan means you're going to eat big bowls of vegetables, big bowls of salads. Well, yes, you might do, but it doesn't mean you can't have all of the other foods that you are used to having. You can have pizza, burger, sausages, ice cream, roast dinners, fajitas, curries, all of the good stuff that you already have. Chocolate, sweets, candies, biscuits, cakes, anything can be made vegan. It's pretty amazing. And lots of those things can be made at home by yourself, and lots of those things can even be just bought in the supermarkets now. I'm not going to get really deep into what products are good and what products are not great, because if you're a beginner and you are just switching over, I'm here to tell you that you can just go and buy some of those foods to experiment with. Get ideas from them. Buy those things that come in a packet that are vegan. Try them out. It's fine. Don't worry too much about it. Just get started, get cooking, and look on Instagram, Pinterest, look on YouTube. Find amazing vegan recipes and just get going. Tip number 9 is to listen to your body. Your body is incredibly clever and complex, and it is giving you messages all the time when you stop and listen to them. Now, when you switch over to veganism, depending on what you eat, you might find that you are hungry a little bit more often than you were before. That's nothing to worry about. It might be that you're just eating foods that have a lower calorie density, and now you just need to eat a bit more. So eating more is fine if you're eating lower calorie dense foods. It's a great thing about veganism, actually. You can have really big portions of food if you're eating lots of fruits and vegetables and rice and things like that. You can have big portions. It's fine. The calorie density is going to be quite low. But also listen to your body in terms of if you're just feeling really unsatisfied. If you've eaten a big meal and then half an hour later you feel unsatisfied, you're not satiated by the food, you ate it but you didn't really love it, then it means that there's something missing. You need to add more flavors or spices. You need to add more protein, or something is missing from that meal to give you that feeling of satisfaction. Because believe me, you can finish your meal and feel just as happy and satisfied as you did on your previous diet. I just want to say that in the vegan lifestyle, you're probably going to eat lots of things like beans and legumes, like lentils and chickpeas, and things that possibly weren't a big part of your lifestyle before. And there might be some adjustment period while you're changing over to these new foods. So this is, again, not something that means you can't have them, you can't digest them, that they don't suit you. It just means you need to start slowly. So just add a tablespoon in at a time. As I say, just do a little bit and often, and you will start to adapt and your digestion will change. And this is all a positive move. Our bodies need those foods. They need a good, healthy microbiome. By eating things like legumes, you are really boosting the nutrition and also helping your digestion and your gut to function and be the best it can be. Tip number 10 is community, friends and other people that are vegan in your life. Now, if you don't have anybody else in your life that is vegan or even interested in veganism, that can be really tough. I found that I needed to have people to talk to about this and people that understood why I do it, what I'm doing, because if it's just you and nobody else at home is vegan, none of your friends are vegan, it's going to be a little bit harder for you to just have that conviction to keep going. So really the best place to start is social media, to be honest with you. Social media is amazing for this. So Facebook groups, going on Instagram, going onto channels like this and on YouTube, connecting with other people that are vegan. Even if you aren't seeing them physically in person, just reading posts, reading blogs, watching videos about other people on their journey, you will start to build a community around yourself. Reading books, just finding ways to integrate it more into your life so that you don't just feel alone. I've met people through those channels and we've become kind of online friends. It does just help to make you realize you're not the only vegan out there. There are absolutely millions of them. So it's good to connect with some of them. You can also use apps like Meetup. One of my friends recently did this. She doesn't know many vegan people. She went on Meetup and in her local area, a little group that meets in a cafe. I think there was like 6 of them and they just met up. None of them knew each other, but they met up and they had a vegan lunch together. She said it was really lovely. It was just a bunch of women in their 40s and 50s. They had a nice lunch together and now they're going to stay in touch. So there is ways to meet people that are vegan and that are more like you. Tip number 11, I can't do that on my fingers, is be kind to yourself. Mistakes will happen because it is quite difficult to avoid animal products in some situations. Until you get really used to certain places, certain brands, certain situations, how do I handle them, you are likely to make a few mistakes and slip-ups. I definitely did. I don't know many vegans who can say, yeah, I went vegan overnight and I never made a mistake since. It's totally fine and really, really normal. Mistakes happen, and even if a few consecutive mistakes happen, don't let that make you feel that, oh, I can't do this. This is too hard. I'm just going to keep making these mistakes. Just remember that this is a learning curve, a big lifestyle change. Yeah, we're going to make mistakes. We do with everything that we try. When we learn to drive a car, when we go to school and we learn something new, we don't just get it first time. We have to trial and error things and then we get to where we want to be. Tip number 12 is to stay calm and kind. Now, the more you learn about veganism, the more you understand, the more compassion you have and the more conviction you have for it because of the amazing benefits it brings to you, to animals and to the environment. It can make you feel like, why aren't more people doing this? And it can be very frustrating when you hear the jokes, the silly comments, all of the silly things that people say that are clearly just either unaware, switched off to what's going on, or just confused about their stance on things. What I mean is animals, really, because loads of people say, oh, I'm an animal lover, I love animals, I'll do anything for animals, but they eat animals. Anyway, I'm not going to go into all that right now. When you are vegan and you see things in a certain way, it can be difficult to not get frustrated and upset with other people who just are not maybe willing to listen to you or not willing to understand, and worse still, make jokes about your choices. But staying calm is really the best way to go about this, because the more angry and upset you get, they feel like, yeah, I was right, you are an extreme crazy person, how are you getting so upset about this? Just let me do what I want to do. And my advice really is that it's always better to have a calm conversation and a kind conversation, and just remember that you weren't always vegan either, and that there was a time when you perhaps didn't know all the things that you know now. Being kind, being compassionate to all people, whatever their choices may be, is difficult but definitely worth doing for your own peace of mind, if nothing else. And the last thing I want to say is just don't give up. It can be difficult. Some people find it really easy. They just switch over and they're like, wow, that was easy. Other people find it really challenging. Whatever kind of person you are, don't give up, because it really is such a wonderful lifestyle. I'm not here to tell people to be vegan or to make people be vegan. I'm here to help people that have got that curiosity but either feel like it's going to be so challenging for them, or that they need more information and advice before they can make that change. That's really all I've got to say. Those are my 12 tips for you. I have created a free free guide on the 5 first steps you can take to become vegan. It's linked down below in the description. There's also a meal plan on there. It's your first 3 days sorted. Shopping list, breakfast, lunch and dinner organised. So feel free to download that and I will see you in the next video. Bye!